What one thing a kid born after 2000 will not understand no matter how long you explain it? 1 click. 8 click 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 click. 0 click 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 click. 0 click 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 click. 4 click 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 click. 9 click 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 click. 6 click 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 click. 6 click 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 click. Crap, messed up. 1 click. 8 click 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 click. Damn it. Watching stuff because it's on. Listening to a song because it's on. Everything's personalized now. We had a much better understanding of the world, old movies, old songs, even sports, because we had so little choice. Sebastian Mani whatever does a great joke about this. If your dad wanted to watch 60 Minutes, you were walking into school on Monday like you hear about what's going on in Lebanon, what life was like before the internet and social media became ubiquitous. If you wanted to talk with friends, you had to work out a mutually agreed time to phone them. If you wanted to hang out, you actually had to go to each other's houses or the mall. If you wanted to look something up, library. And if you felt different from the other kids, it felt like you were the only one in the world. If you wanted to know something your family or friends didn't know, and you couldn't find it in the library, you were unlikely to find out the answer. This applied to all sorts of things all of the time. I doubt younger people today can really imagine the difference immediate information availability makes in our daily lives. I tried to explain to my nieces that you used to get the internet through your phone. They were all like, yeah, duh. Then I had to explain that the phone line had to be connected to a special box which had to be connected to a computer that you could only connect to the internet if no one else was using the phone. How innovative music was in the 80s! You can listen to all of the songs now, but you can appreciate the many different genres and bands and their progressive evolution over that decade. Also the introduction of MTV and the build-up of how artists came together and broadcast across the world for Live Aid. Waiting for a song to play on the radio so you could press record and have your own copy on cassette tape. Albums were expensive, so you only bought the ones that were special to you. Nowadays, with internet and streaming options, we can listen to what we want, when we want, not being tapped into the internet 24/7. They may think they understand but they don't. Also, just not being contactable since you didn't have a cell phone on you. When you were out, you were unreachable. Glorious privacy and just unplugging yourself from the bullshit. That in one decade our country switched from the imperial system to the metric system and from pounds to dollar and from Fahrenheit to Celsius. Can you imagine the absolute chaos fuss people would create if the government decided to make big changes like that now? Embarrassed smiley face. How much of a jump it was when a new generation of console came. I remember sitting in the video game store after school when the PS3 came out. We played the tennis game marveling at how it's like watching a movie, like we are controlling real people. Pagers and public phones. I was around when long distance calls were insanely expensive and connections were terrible on wired phones, way before cellular. Now I call China without a second thought. Communications are just so prevalent now. Playground rumors about video games. People didn't have internet, but they heard from their uncle at Nintendo that you could get Mew3 or Pika-Blue by keeping a Magikarp in the daycare for 99 levels. Or other random thing. Wi-Fi does not exist everywhere on the planet. My younger family members were so used to asking friends and copying passwords off of fridges that they were blown away when told that Wi-Fi isn't a thing that exists everywhere. It used to be that if you had a song in your head or you wanted to figure out what the lyrics were, you couldn't just listen to it. You had to wait for it on the radio MTV and maybe they'd play the part you wanted to hear. Not having everything you do recorded. I'm so glad there's no evidence of all the stupid embarrassing stuff me and my friends did. The downside is I only have like half a dozen pictures of me and my friends as teenagers, being scared to post personal things on the internet for fear that some internet creeper is gonna find you. Nowadays all you gotta do is Google someone and all their info's right there and no one bats an eye. No streaming TV movies or short form videos. Wanna watch your favorite show? Check the TV Guide or that one channel that rolls through programming, forget what it's called. Movie? Buy it or rent it. You walked into a store that was wall-to-wall movies to rent. Took that movie home, watched it, and returned it 2-3 days later. This was the only way you could view a movie at home. How the year 2000 seemed like some year way off in the future. Now I have lived more than half my life in the 21st century. Heck, we had a technology show called Beyond 2000. At the school I work at, the kids talk about 9/11 like it was 100 years ago. No understanding of how the world changed. It's hard to describe, but they don't get it. Recording songs from the radio onto a cassette tape or burning a mix CDs for friends or BFGF. Now every song in the world is one search away. What it was like to watch people fall from the towers as a middle schooler, and know what was happening, but not understand what was happening. Missing the new episode on TV, having no way to see it again, and be completely clueless when it was all anyone at school or work talked about. How boring life was before the internet and smartphones. The game of solitaire is formally called patience, as it was a way of making time pass. Pre-9/11 flying. Flying solo at 8 and having my parents meeting me at the gate, quickly getting on flights most cases. It was great. How amazing it was to wake up in the morning and see that your torrent for a 320p resolution movie had advanced to 63 overnight. One day being out on your bike skateboard and you just stumble onto someone's discarded big box of porn cassettes or nudie mags. Smoking was not illegal anywhere. You could smoke on airplanes, restaurants, in the mall, in the stores, school parking lot. I'm born in 2000, but VHS is likely the next big one to go. Floppy disks or floppy disks, but no teacher educates about VHS. Cash $50,000, no social security numbers were needed for anything. Cocaine parties were different. Live was simpler. Looking forward to Monday's newspaper having that week's TV guide so you could see what movies were on that week. I'm a kid born after 2000, ready to see how much of this I already know or will understand when explained to me. Y2K. I tried explaining the doomsday prepping and panic to a young coworker and he thought I was making it up. After the tone, please say your name. Him amidst Jim from the middle beat the interns be hot topic. Calling your friend's house and having to ask the parent who picked up if you can talk to your friend. Pre-9/11 airports. We used to be able to walk all the way up to the gate to greet visitors. Beep boop beep boop beep beep beep. Scrape. That it took several years to finish watching DBZ despite the show already being complete. One phone for the entire family and you could only go as far as the cord would stretch. Just being unreachable. No phone, so people just gotta kinda find you. Really miss that. Probably nothing. As a rule, each generation has a higher potential than the last. Life before the internet. I much preferred it to what kids have to deal with now. Working 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, physically at the workplace is normal. I was born 2002, so I'm trying to see how out of touch you all think we are. Looking up where to find books on small cards in a wall of tiny drawers. Apparently, the geopolitical conflict between Israel and Palestine, uphill both ways, in the snow. They get driven everywhere now. The inconvenience of finding your way with paper maps before GPS. Wait! Going from LimeWire to your iPod or MP3. After burning CDs, that you used to have to change the channel to play video games. How much dog poop there was everywhere. And it was all white. How enjoyable it was to watch The Simpsons in the early days. Rotary dial phones. Ripping music from TV to cassette deck. Getting up crackhead early to watch Saturday morning cartoons. How much more homophobic the world was 20 years ago.